My name is Dr. Gidenji Gitahi, and I am a believer and an advocate for family planning for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for the entire community of Africa. And the reason for this is that within Agenda 2063, which is Africa's agenda for prosperity, you cannot achieve that if you do not give women a choice on their reproductive health, a choice of when to have their first child, and a choice of how many to have.
Family planning has got the power to do more. Family planning makes so much possible. But it's not just like the gadget that you take about family planning, it's the holistic information, the access to commodities, the access to health systems, and everything else that then enables women and men to ensure that they can plan their families. And as they do that, they become active participants in society and in its development.
Family planning is an equalizer between men and women. It is what allows men and women to compete adequately in the job place, in development, in politics, because it allows for people to have a choice of when to conceive, when to have children, how many to have.
Je dirais dans notre communauté, la planification familiale est perçue en réalité comme le fait de forcer ou éventuellement de promouvoir la sexualité des jeunes femmes. Une femme qui utilise la planification familiale, surtout une jeune fille adolescente, est considérée comme une femme de mœurs légères. Donc c'est très difficile, c'est pas très bien appréhendé par les communautés, d'où il est important aujourd'hui, nous, en tant que des jeunes, en tant que des porteurs de voix, d'aller au plus profond de nos communautés pour pouvoir éventuellement donner les bonnes informations par rapport aux avantages liés à la planification familiale.
We have a lot of myths around family planning. We have issues of people discouraging women with the myth of delayed pregnancies in case you want to get pregnant because of family planning, then also side effects. A certain lady came and told me that, you know what, Anne, I fear contraceptives because someone told me the time I want to give birth, I may not give birth because literally these pills may burn my ovaries. So like, wow.
Conversations among family planning are a little bit sketchy when it comes to boys and men. They think that boys and men are out of that conversation. Some of the men, when you bring up that conversation, they think it's a women's agenda.
There's a lot of misinformation, so there's a lot of taboos that surround the use of family planning, which means that, you know, because African men have always prided themselves in how many children they can sire, then when you introduce something that controls the number of children you can have, it becomes a problem.
At this moment, when there's such a drastic change in donor funding, there is the possibility that family planning will be deprioritized because governments have to focus on infectious diseases and the non-communicable diseases, and in the process of looking at maternal health, which may come last, there is a possibility that family planning will not be included. Family planning has been heavily donor dependent, particularly the contraceptives.
We are based in Korogosho slums, the third largest informal settlement in Kenya. In Korogosho, teenage pregnancy is normalized than contraceptive, you know. So if, you'd rather be pregnant than get conversations on contraception. Issues of unsafe abortion are real in informal settlements of Korogosho. We have a river that passes, Nairobi River, that passes through Korogosho, and every week we have fetuses being fished out of Nairobi River. And most of these unsafe abortions are out of adolescents and young people.
I think in my country we have some issues related with this kind of topic because the society are not totally open to talk freely about this kind of topic. Okay, sometimes they think in rural areas it's a taboo, and the information is not accessible to all of the youth people.
We could say that young people indeed are there to create the change that is supposed to happen when it comes to access to family planning commodities. I could say that annually in Malawi, young people are on the front trying to ensure that the government increases health financing in relation to their Bushra Declaration that says that every country should commit 15% of the annual budget to the health sector. Young people are already eagerly and they are voicing out to ensure that the government should consider an increase, considering that there have been several challenges when it comes to access to SRHR. We have hit by climate change, cyclones has affected, but also created demand for access to SRHR and family planning. So this is now the voices that has been there to ensure that services are being provided, and there's also domestic financing of SRHR.
Include youth in the decisions that increase the voices of youth in the health sector, especially at sexual reproductive health, and for us, family planning. And the access to tools of family planning should be equitably available to anyone, especially for those vulnerable groups who are living in rural areas, and also people who live with disabilities.
After the second child, I became a single parent. How will I have achieved this if I was not able to space my children and also have family planning also being part of my life? Now being able to take care of them, they are 10 and 12 years as I speak, and I've been able to actually bring them up. Looking at my professional work where I have to be traveling here and there, be hinterlands or outside the country, because of family planning.
African government need to be aware and fully conscious that family planning investment is as important as investing in roads, in infrastructure, and health and education. So that is why I'm here today, to put the focus on investing in family planning.
So family planning is one of the most cost-effective public health intervention. Family planning is as important to women as immunization is important to children. So family planning has saved many women. In Kenya, I can say the maternal mortality has reduced, and I can attribute that one to the use of family planning, because women can have a period where they can recuperate, they can at least plan for the next pregnancies, and that has saved them in terms of their lives and others.
So as governments are getting to look at their budgets for next year, there needs to be a proper mapping, and keeping family planning central is critical, especially as you think of the future of a young person and the choices that they need to have.
And I know we're not going to be donor reliant forever. In the short run, as countries are ramping up to ensure sustainability and integration in current programs, we do need partnerships and support from philanthropy, from African high net worth individuals, but even from individuals who are bringing more to the pot. And indeed, as a global solidarity movement, we are building that campaign which is called Made Possible by Family Planning, because we believe so much more has been and can be made possible by family planning.